Galing ako sa isang maliit na village ng Bontoc, yung tawag na Bontoc Mountain Province, na village ng mga weavers. Dahil maniwala man kayo o hindi, 95% to 98% mga kababaihan na weaver. Lagi kong nakikita yung mga nanay namin, yung nanay ko na naghahabi. Kaya nung lumalaki na ako yung kasakasama ng nanay ko sa pagse-set up, hanggang sa tinuruan niya ako mula sa maliit hanggang sa may mga design. Yung laruan namin talaga yung paghahabi. Ako si Catherine Ekid Dumigyay, kilala akong Kati Ekid dito sa Baguio. Ngayon, nung nag-asawa na ako, dito kami sa Baguio, naka-base. Tapos merong Baguio Craft Fair. Tapos tinawagan na akong mag-demo. Doon ko first time na nakita si Ma'am Vicky na pumunta doon. Tapos nag-interview sa akin. Tapos sabi niya, pwede ba kitang makontak? Tapos ilang araw lang, kinuntak niya talaga ako. Yun. Punta ka sa museum dahil sa museum po sila.
The CordiTex is an interdisciplinary research team that examines Cordillera Textiles, the mathematical symmetry, arrangements, even the basis for the natural dyes. And of course, we also study the iconography of textiles and then the relationship in the Cordillera and the rest of the Philippines and beyond in Southeast Asia as well. I'm Annalyn Salvador Amores. They call me Prof. Ikin. I'm professor of anthropology at the College of Social Sciences in UP Baguio and also the project leader for the Cordillera Textiles Project or CordiTex. My prior interest was really on material culture of the body or the anthropology of the body. What piqued my interest is when my grandmother used to have a little stall at the old Baguio market, and I saw these elders with fully tattooed skin, no? So that piqued my interest to venture into tattoos. And then the textiles, these are all related. No? I have a very keen interest on Cordillera material culture. No? So anything that is tangible. CordiTex is very unique because of its academic approach on textiles. While some would approach textiles in a very like marketing strategy, how to make profit, how to sell, etc. But we are working with local weavers in Cordillera and reiterate the significance of this in terms of documentation, reconstruction of their textiles through the digital loom. Once we reconstruct or find the formula, we return that back to the communities.
Ay doon kami nag-umpisa na nagbibigay ng demo o workshop. Tapos pinakilala ko yung mga kababayan kong naandito sa Trinidad, yung mga weavers. Kaya may connection po na tinutulungan din yung mga kababayan kong weavers.
We conduct first-hand field research in various communities. No? So we work with several weaving communities in the Cordillera, from Abra, Bontoc, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Kalinga, even the Gadang weaving communities. No? So we also have built relationships with these weavers, which is more, to us, very important. No? Kasi nandyan pa rin sila throughout the years. They have been collaborating with us. They are sharing their experiences. No? We also collaborated on an exhibition with local weavers. There's mutual benefit for this collaboration. It's not one way. We learn from them and they also learn from us.
Doon kasi sa amin, nung una, yung ginagamit namin kagaya yung mga backstrap talaga, yung traditional. Tapos nakikita ko na limited. Dahil sa backstrap, makakahabi ka lang ng 4 na yards. Yun yung matagal na ginagamit sa amin. Pero nung pumunta ako dito, yung ginagamit ko yung foot loom. At least makahabi ka o makaset up ka ng 50 to 100 yards sa isang roll. Kaya nung umuwi kami, sabi ko sa asawa ko, ano kaya kung i-introduce natin? Dahil yung asawa kong gumawa ng footloom ko actually dito sa Baguio. Kaya nagbakasyon kami, sumunod yung asawa ko. Tapos gumawa siya ng footloom doon. tinuro ko sa mga kababaihan na naghahabi doon. Tapos, isang turo lang naman, dahil weavers sila, madaling natuto. Kaya nung tinanong ni Ma'am Ikin, sino ba ang nag-introduce sa inyo itong footloom? Tapos sabi yung mga na-interview doon, si Fataan. Fataan kasi yung pangalan ko sa amin, yung palayo ko, native name ko. Tapos nung pumunta si Ma'am Ikin, di niya alam na ako yung Fataan. Kaya tumatawa ako kay Ma'am Ikin. Tuwang-tuwa ako kay Ma'am. Yung mostly na hinahabi ko, yung mga traditional. Limited naman pag laging sa traditional dahil hindi mo naman gagamitin yung mga traditional araw-araw. Kaya yung kung paano i-modernize o parang ganun, yung mga hobby para gawin mong parang mga ganito, pwede mong gawin mga ganyan. Yung mata-mata kasi ito, yung ano talaga yung nag-inspire sa akin na parang priority ko yung mata-mata. Nung maraming seminars o talks na yung Ma'am Ikin, ng dami-daming hobby, textile. Tapos pag titignan mo, parang iisa, kahit sa ibang bansa, may mga design na mata-mata. Pero iba-ibang technique kung paano hinabi. Ang sinasabi sa amin, pinipresent nung mata ng mga ancestors o mga ating creator na siyang nagbabantay.
May mga iconography or symbols or patterns or designs na nakikita dyan that is reflective of their own culture. So kapag nakita natin, alam natin yung estado ng tao, the status of the person wearing that particular blanket. Even the colors have their own signification.
Skills is learned through traditional ways of passing on that knowledge. And likewise, for every weft and warp, as we would say, that is woven into the fabric, okay, there are stories that are actually woven. The designs that are shown in the fabrics are things that are found in the environments, things that also represent their cultures, and these are what they would show as their motifs in the textiles that are woven.
In CordiTex, for instance, we study a lot of the natural dyes, no? And in the field, we also saw some of these dye-yielding plants, no? The color of the indigo, no? That would come from this, mga parang shrub lang siya, but it yields this very nice color. So indigo will have to be scientifically studied, no? What makes it permanent on textiles, in terms of the color fastness, nagfe-fade ba yan or hindi? Ngayon, yung representation ng mga katutubo, why indigo, no? So apparently, doon sa aming findings, they said that this is like the color of darkness when they travel to the afterlife, no? So yung dark sky would represent something in their culture. We had a very interesting encounter sa mga elders in different weaving communities. So the elders would validate our research, no? Kung tama ba itong na-capture namin from our interviews and from our research, no? Dapat ganito yung design or dapat hindi ganito yung combination or even yung arrangement ng patterns, no? And weaving communities or local weavers, especially the master weavers, are not so verbal, no? We have to learn it by doing. When we go to the communities, kung may tanong kami sa kanila, they demo it to us. They show the process to us, the techniques, no? Kung paano ginagawa. What makes weaving distinct is the patterns. If you lose traditional patterns, you lose your identity. Weavers don't write their formula for weaving. It's all mental, it's all oral. So what we do in CordiTex is we document that aggressively by looking at the arrangement of the patterns, collection of their traditional swatches, no? If we can deconstruct that and reconstruct that in the digital loom.
Maiisip ng iba na parang threat siya sa traditional weaving, but exactly hindi siya threat kasi compared dun sa traditional weaving, mabagal siya mag-produce ng tela, and technically ginagamit natin siya dito sa CordiTex para mag-produce lang ng mga textiles na hindi na napuproduce para lang sample at makita ng mga weavers natin yung itsura ng mga weaves na hindi na nawiweave.
Paano i-preserve yung mga old na design na hindi namin nagagawa ngayon. Dahil yung hobby nila kasi noon as in na maliit, manipis, very thin, hindi mo mabilang. Kaya doon ipipreserve dahil pwede mong palakihin tapos igagawa nila sa computer tapos ihahabi. Doon makikita yung mga designs na pwede naming bangunin. Matyaga talaga ang isang weaver. Kaya kahit gaano kanipis yung sinulid, kaya pong ihabi, sir.
So, ikat means tie-dye. It came from an Indonesian word which means tie and dye. It's a technique where you tie certain parts of the thread and then you dye it with different, natural dyes. That's actually a universal technique, but what varies is the material, no, and the designs that you can find in Southeast Asia and the world, and also in the Philippines. So the World ICAT was a platform, no, to gather all these scholars on ICAT, indigenous weavers on ICAT around the Philippines. We have more than 100 ICAT weavers from the Philippines that we invited. It's an honor to host that international event because that's our validation why CordiTex existed in the first place, no? To work with other scholars on textiles, to engage with our local weavers. Their weaves are featured in that very big platform alongside with other international fashion designers. So, I mean, we made a statement in the World ICAT that we have also a beautiful ikat from the Philippines. If we work together in a very positive note, we can always achieve, no, a high quality kind of ikat in the Philippines. The raw materials are there, no? The weavers are there, knowledge is there. The problem is how do you market this in the, in a very wider audience.
Yung mga ginagawa ng CordiTex, mas inilalapit sa mga students yung opportunity para mas magkaroon sila ng kahit basic information or knowledge about this particular culture.
Sobrang dami kong natutunan and great experience talaga siya for me kasi iba't ibang country yung pumunta dito to showcase their textiles and yung techniques nila.
So, through involvement kasi sa Cordillera Textile and Culture, it becomes clear na for me na deeply rooted talaga yung Cordillera Textile sa identity and community natin.
As someone na sobrang fascinated sa material culture talaga and knowing and learning the mission of CordiTex to preserve and document yung culture ng Cordillera Textiles. Ayun yung isa talaga sa nag-motivate sa akin to be a student volunteer.
It's important to focus on indigenous voices because the culture actually belongs to them. These traditions that we're trying to showcase, this material culture that we're trying to show actually belongs to them. And there should therefore be the center of the exhibit. The indigenous peoples have their ways of knowing. They also have ways of how to study their own ways of knowing. And these are the things that hopefully we'll be able to imbibe to our students so that they can make a difference and help out indigenous people, okay? Or so that indigenous people can be able to benefit from this knowledge that they have.
Before kasi parang sobrang surface level lang ng perception ko or knowledge ko about traditional arts. But upon my stay here in UP Baguio and yung involvement ko sa CordiTex, mas napalawig neto yung idea ko about it and natutunan ko yung importance ng traditional arts and also yung pag-keep neto and pagpapasa neto sa mga future generations.
Nakikita ko sa market yung mga price ng mga cloth, like yung ginagawa. Gina-judge ko siya, like sabi ko, oh my God, sobrang mahal naman neto. Pero nung na-experience na namin yung weaving workshop, ang binabayadan mo talaga dun is yung effort, creativity ng weaver.
Isa din doon kung paano pinapakita ng isang manghahabi yung kanilang inspirasyon o ano yung nagbibigay sa kanila ng inspirasyon sa paghahabi, yung pagmamahal din sa kanilang kapaligiran. Dahil yung mga pattern naman po na hinahabi namin ay galing sa mga bundok, sa mga halaman, sa mga insekto, sa mga animals. Malaking bagay sa aming mga weavers sa pagpupromote para pahalagahan naman o bibigyan ng education yung mga bata o mga outside na walang kalam-alam sa weaving. Kayon po, malaking tulong po sa aming mga weavers sa community.
My vision for CordiTex is to replicate our work that is unique to the different UP units, no? So we have UP in Visayas, no, to look at Hablon. There's UP in Mindanao to look at all these weaving traditions in the area. Imagine if we can connect all of these 7 different autonomous units in the Philippines, then we can come up with the Philtex and a research, no, more broadly on Philippine textiles. Of course, the approach is again interdisciplinary. We can also engage UP Los Baños, no, to help us with the scientific testing of textiles, no, and of course other areas, no, in different UP units to collaborate with us, no, in the CordiTex. In that way, we can have a stronger foothold, no, on the study of Philippine textiles.
Ang natutunan ko sa UP, mas mahalaga na i-immerse yung sarili sa community mismo and ma-give back kung ano yung natututunan namin inside the classroom. Gaya nga ng tagline ng CordiTex,
Yes.
Bringing the past to the future. Siguro, isa yun talaga na, ayun naman yung isa sa mga mission na pinangahawakan ng CordiTex na maipasa yung mga tradisyon na to, yung kultura ng Cordillera sa mga susunod pa na henerasyon.